What is up, everybody? It is Zach from at Premier Soccer Investing coming at you with yet another SlabStox FC YouTube video. Let's get into it. For all of you guys who are going to be at the National in Chicago from starting July 28th, I hope to see all of you there. I will be there. The legend, one of the greatest footballers ever, Ballon d'Or winner, Ronaldinho, is going to be at the National on July 30th and July 31st. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, if it's true, if it's happening, but I assume he's going to be doing like a little bit of a meet and greet, maybe a signing, something along those lines. So that's going to be really fun for all of us big football fans out there, soccer fans out there. It's going to be really cool to see an all-time great being present in there, the National. Hopefully that can help grow the soccer card market, grow the hobby. Yeah, it's just going to be a really cool moment. I hope to see a lot of you, all of you guys there. And get into so Barcelona is in a very difficult financial position. They have to shed a lot of salary, and they've been looking to loan out lots of players. And there were rumors that Serginho Dest, the American right/left back, would be one of those players that might get loaned out, maybe to Bayern Munich, who tried to get him in the summer previously before he chose Barca. But as you can see here, according to the man himself, the authority on transfers, Fabrizio Romano, despite rumors about negotiations / potential proposals, Dest is not planning to leave Barca this summer. He wants to stay, and he's not considering any other option. So it looks like Dest will be staying Barcelona. I think this is a good move for him because he was playing a lot of minutes last season, and I expect that to continue. He has a solid role within the team. They give him license to get forward and attack, which is what he's best at. And it's just been a good spot for him to learn from some of the greats, both at his position with Jordi Alba, and then just obviously the GOAT himself, Messi. And yeah, this is a very good thing for him, and I hope to see him continue to progress at Barcelona and help out the U.S. Men's national team in the future. Speaking of the U.S. Men's national team, so the Gold Cup, the CONCACAF Gold Cup is going on right now. This is the squad that the U.S. has playing in this is what I would say is a C+ to B- squad. There are a few players that might make that final 23 for World Cup qualifying, but for the most part, it's MLS guys, young guys that are fighting to get a look in the national picture. So obviously, a huge incentive to perform. And while the performance wasn't amazing, the U.S. got the result against Canada, beating them 1-0, which solidifies their group win as they won all 3 games in their group, beating Canada, Canada, Haiti, and Guadalupe, I want to say. I could be wrong about that third one, though. But yeah, U.S. win their group. Said in large part due to the performances of this man, Luca Busio, who is going to be going to Venezia and Serie A on a 5-year contract with a fee around 4 million euros, and with add-ons and future sale percentage including too. He's 18 years old. He started playing in the MLS when he's 15. He's a midfielder who can and has played at almost every spot in the central midfield. He's played at a 6, as a box-to-box 8, and even as an attacking number 10. So very versatile, talented player. Yeah, it's always great to see another American go to Europe, and I think he's going to do very, very well there. And he's done so very well for the U.S. men's national team so far. So the group stage isn't finished yet in the Gold Cup, but this is what the draw is looking like so far. The U.S. is likely to either be facing Costa Rica or Jamaica in this spot, but Mexico and U.S. on opposite sides of the bracket, leaving a potential Nations League final rematch very likely to be found in the Gold Cup final. But with one squad that's vastly different in the U.S. and the one that's only slightly different, with Mexico playing more of a B plus A minus team, the U.S. obviously a C plus B minus team. Now, to get into some data conversations I wanted to talk about this week. Obviously, data coming of courtesy of SlabStox Pro. If you guys aren't using it, I really don't know what you're doing. Best graphics, great data, and all 100% free. So I wanted to take a look at Jadon Sancho's Optic base PSA 10. And this card, it's taken an interesting ride. As you can see, a huge run up into the April period, and this was as a result of the Champions League. And then when they get eliminated, a big decline. Doesn't play much for England, if at all, in the Euros. This coincides with his one start, decline. And then you have the transfer being announced, gets a little bit of a jump there, and then back down again. So it really goes to show, first, the outsized importance of the Champions League in the soccer card market, because you'll see in these next couple examples I give too how much the Champions League and team success and individual success progressing through the knockout rounds really does to a player's card prices, making it possibly easy to predict the cycles of a player's card in the next season. Something to look out for as I go deeper into this data. But yeah, rise and then a steep drop off once the elimination happens. And then if something else is disappointing after that, that slide won't stop, which is basically what's happened with Sancho. And then another player who's had his card prices have had a similar journey, so that's why I wanted to highlight them too. Foden's Optic base PSA 10. So you can see the run-up comes when he starts balling out in the Champions League. City's winning, they're winning, and then they get knocked out. It holds value for a little bit because people thought he'd be carrying England in the Euros and starting and all that. And then once his playing time kind of disappeared for England, the steep drop-off happened because it was so surprising. What about these two cards compared against each other? Because these players often are, and they will especially be compared to each other even more now with Sancho joining United and Foden obviously being at City. So they're going to be Premier League rivals. They play in similar positions for England, so they're fighting for a place there. So it'll be interesting to look at what their card prices have done. And as you can see at the start, they were relatively equal from the start of 2021 all the way through until mid-March. And then from there, Foden's prices took off compared to Sancho's. And now he's been basically at around a factor of 2 times the amount of Sancho's base PSA 10 ever since, give or take, 2.5 times at one point, 1.5 times at others. But Foden's card prices have generally been holding more value than Sancho. Now, will that continue? It will all be obviously based on performance this upcoming season in the Premier League, but I think what's going to have a really big part of it is A, who goes farther in the Champions League, and B, what happens when their teams play each other. Who is the star on the pitch? Is it Foden taking over? Is it Sancho? And I think whoever has the better games when they play each other, that's the player that's going to really create the separation going forward in their prices. You have the Mbappe 2017 Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 and the base PSA 10. So these two cards, the Refractor was always holding over 3 times the value just at the start of what the base was. And then the Refractor sees the huge rise in prices and then now has held its value. The base has seen the little fluctuations and dips and has continued to dip. And now you see the Refractor at basically 7 or 8 times the price of the base, which tells me one of two things in regards to the Mbappe base PSA 10. Either it's undervalued because the Haaland is around a 5-ish times difference between the refractor and the base, or the refractor and Mbappe is undervalued. What I think, my interpretation of the data is that the base 2017 Topps Chrome Mbappe PSA 10 is probably slightly undervalued, because I would expect the Haaland and Mbappe refractor to base difference to be pretty even in the long run, and it's not right now. So I think this Mbappe card, the base especially, has, well, both have room to grow. As you can see, their peaks and stuff, but the base in the short term, I think, has room to grow to even out with the discrepancy in value between the base and refractor. Especially since I want to compare this, the Mbappe card right now, the refractor 27 Topps Chrome refractor PSA 10 is worth more than the Haaland PSA 10, and this is an interesting comparison too, because you can see that obviously the Mbappe is worth $500 more than the Haaland. And while they both kind of had similar-ish rises, the Haaland rise was more dramatic, and it reached a higher price than the Mbappe's. The Haaland reached an $11,300 price, $11,300 price, and the Mbappe reached a $9,500 price at its highest points, respectively, which shows that when Haaland is hot, it seems like there might be a little more demand for him. Or is that too much hype exceeding his prices, and then you see the fall back to earth, and the market kind of has reestablished that Mbappe is the higher value player for now, which is what I think is going to continue to play out, especially over the course of this season, because you have Mbappe is going to be more successful in World Cup qualifying with France, obviously, because France is just a better footballing nation than Norway. And then you also have PSG loading up on talent this summer, and looking like they're really going to be strong favorites to finally push for and win that Champions League that has eluded them in the past. And if they do win that Champions League trophy, obviously Mbappe prices are going to go through the roof, because then I'll have had a Champions League trophy and a World Cup trophy all before the age of 25, which is absolutely unreal. And that could put him in position for a Ballon d'Or next season too. He's not going to win it this season. Messi's going to take it this year. But yeah, this price battle is going to be a good one to watch moving forward also. Then the last thing I want to talk about today is the SlabStox charity night at the National. All proceeds being donated to Camp Kesem. Damian Rodrigo, the man who helped bring Ronaldinho to the National and has the best Messi collection in the world, donated obviously a huge Messi for the charity night. And if you guys want to pitch in, donate, go to the SlabStox website. There's information in there on that, but it's going to be really cool. A lot of stuff is going to be done live on the charity night, both at the National in person and on YouTube. So you're going to want to stay tuned to check that out. That's going to be it for this week. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching, and